Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make a delicious carrot cake from scratch, so make sure you stick around. First, you want to lightly scoop some flour into your dry measuring cup. Level off the excess flour with a butter knife. Make sure that you do not pack the flour down into your measuring cup, because then you'll end up accidentally measuring out more flour than what's needed for this recipe. And we're going to sift our dry ingredients together. If you don't have a sifter, then you can use a strainer. Next, add the baking soda, salt, cinnamon, nutmeg, and ground clove. After sifting, mix those dry ingredients together. In a separate bowl, add the brown sugar and granulated sugar together. Then you're going to add the canola oil. So as you can see, I'm using my stand mixer for this recipe, but if you do not have a stand mixer, you can use an electric hand mixer, or you can make this recipe by hand. It might take a little arm work, but you can get it done. So do not be discouraged if you don't have any special gadgets to get this done. Look, you can use those hands and get it done. So once the sugars and oil are well combined together, then add the eggs. You'll need 4 total, and you want to add those in one at a time. Afterwards, this is what your wet batter should look like, nice and creamy. So now add the vanilla extract, and you want to mix this well. Next, add the carrots, and please do not be lazy with this recipe. Don't buy store-bought grated carrots, because those will be very dry. You want to prep the carrots, rinse them off, chop off the tip, and grate them using the side of the grater with the smallest holes. You'll only need about 4 carrots to produce 3 grated cups. So now add the pecans along with the carrots and mix well on a low speed until well combined. So if you like this video so far, please give me a big thumbs up. If you are new here, I'd like to take this time to welcome you to my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. Now we are going to add half of the dry ingredients into the bowl and mix until it is just combined. So basically, once you no longer see flour, that's when you want to stop mixing. Now you're going to add half of the buttermilk and mix until it is just incorporated into the cake batter. And also make sure that all of your ingredients used for this recipe are at room temperature. And if you don't have buttermilk, do not worry. I can leave the link to a video where I'll show how to make buttermilk from scratch. And last but not least, make sure that you get the full written recipe for this video down below in my description box. So now you want to finish this off with the remaining dry ingredients and then alternate with the remaining buttermilk. Just make sure not to overmix. Now we're going to spray 2 9-inch cake pans with non-stick cooking spray. I'm using Baker's Joy, which is going to make it super easy to remove the cakes from the cake pan. So basically, you do not have to worry about your cake sticking to the cake pans. But if you don't have Baker's Joy, then you can use regular old cooking spray. Will work just fine. You just want to sprinkle some flour into the bottom of those cake pans. And now make sure that you have poured an even amount of batter into both cake pans. And we're going to bake this inside of our preheated oven for 30 to 35 minutes. And you can check the cake with a toothpick or a knife to make sure that it is done. So once your cakes are done, let them cool off for 15 minutes before transferring to a cooling rack. And then you want to allow them to completely cool off for 1 hour before you add the frosting. So now I'm going to spread my homemade cream cheese frosting all over the cakes here. I will leave the measurements for this as well in my description box below, so make sure you check it out. I made this frosting in another video, so be sure to check that out as well, and I'll leave a card up above with the link for that video. So if this is your first time making a cake from scratch, then chances are you've never made cream cheese frosting from scratch either. And let me tell you, the store-bought frosting does not compare to this by no means. So My thing is this: if you've spent all this time and energy to make this cake from scratch, you might as well finish it off with some homemade cream cheese frosting from scratch, right? Makes sense to me. So now I'm gonna let this set in the freezer for 10 minutes, and this is the final result after adding the pecans. So I hope that I have perfectly demonstrated how to make a cake from scratch. There is no need for you to buy any more boxed cake mix as long as you know how to make it yourself, and that's what I'm here for, to show you how to do it the simple way. Boom. Didn't that sound good? That sounds real good. So I really cannot wait for you to try this recipe. This cake was super moist and packed with a lot of flavor. So if you like this video, please do me a big favor and share on your social media platforms. And if you try this recipe, come on back and let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to catch you in my next video.